Japan, Part 36. Bureaucrats consider the responsibility greater than keeping well informed when the scope of information gathering exceeds the ministry's span of control. They help mobilize private institutions, most directly concerned to set up the task of forces to fill in gaps in information. Within the ministry, considerable effort is made not just to collect information but to sift it to ensure that these actors in the ministry are neither flooded with more information or they can control or inadequately informed on the matters of import. Within ministries, it is not the top level who are expected to take initiative. It is not top level who are expected to take initiative in processing information as in America. But the key bureau and section leaders within the ministry, MITI, for example, bureaus responsible for the respective industrial sector, all gather in information that might be useful for guiding Japan's industrial development. Japan's industrial development in that sector. For its respective sector, each bureau wants to know world market trends and state of the technology, likely timing and nature of new technological breakthrough, the nature of the most successful industries in the world and the reason for their success. These bureaucrats erect formal and informal timetables as to when issues are liable to come to the fore. Their success. The bureaucrats erect formal and informal timetable as to when issues are likely to come to the force, and they focus their information gathering accordingly. For example, in the decades of gathering only, and it is there, focus their information, gather accordingly. For example, in the decades after World War II, MITI officials considered it extremely important to develop basic Japanese industries like steel, electric power, and they concentrated their information gathering efforts in these sectors. Interest in gathering know-how about the automobile industry began to develop in the 1950s, whereas computers did not emerge as a high priority until the late 1960s. After the oil shock in late 1973, energy problems took on top priority. Officials concerned with the Middle Eastern oil, for example, recognized that the paying for the oil and investing capital would not be sufficient. And that's how it has moved along. Energy problem took up top priority. Officials concerned with the Middle Eastern oil, for example, recognized that paying for the oil and investing capital would not be sufficient to ensure the continuous flow of oil from Middle East to Japan. They decided, therefore, to organize major technological developments process in the Middle East, which would make the oil-producing countries dependent on Japanese know-how and technological assistance.